Hey there, YouTubers. BaronvonKlausnitzer here. I'm back with my next project in Space Engineers. I'm taking a little bit of a break from the Leviathan battlecruiser until I figure out, well, basically I just need to do some fine-tuning and additions to it. So I'm going to take a break, and I'm working on the next ship in my fleet. Colors that Tom is working on is rapidly becoming a large cruiser, similar to the Alaska class, as opposed to a heavy cruiser like the Baltimore, which is what it was intended to be. But this ship is is going to be the destroyer of the fleet. Tentatively, the destroyers are going to be called the weapons class, and this is the RWS Longbow, the class prototype. Intended as more or less a disposable escort. It's entirely built of light armor, and it's only one layer thick, so if it takes a hit, it will go boom. Pretty accurate for destroyers. That being said, it is extraordinarily well armed. I don't have all the weapons in place. Mostly point defense weapons are still need to be done. You can see here in the bow I have 4 missile launchers, 4 laser lances, and then 4 of those dual static batteries. This gives it a pretty significant anti-ship punch. And then on the wings here I have heavy defense turrets as like dual-purpose weapons. I'm going to add definitely some anti-missile turrets and possibly some anti-fighter turrets. I don't necessarily foresee fighters being a huge part of this particular universe I'm fluffing. Inside is pretty plain at this point. I haven't gotten very far. As you can see, the ship actually physically isn't really big enough to have a proper hangar bay or docking bay. Instead, you just have, it's going to be 2 airlocks on each side, and then sealed off from the main hull. And then I have to be kind of creative with the space I'm using. I think what's going to end up happening is up there is just be a kind of a communal living, sleeping, recreational area, and then back here the command deck or command area. Obviously, if that ends up being the case, destroyers are not going to be very popular assignments. They're especially considered the lavishness of the accommodations that I gave them on the Leviathan, but they are necessary. And in here is the engineering spaces. Again, because it's meant as an escort, it's not intended to sail on its own, so it's not going to have too much in terms of manufacturing capabilities. I will give it an oxygen generator, probably an assembler, and some oxygen tanks, and maybe 1 or 2 other pieces, with the intent that it can manufacture enough equipment to keep itself supplied for short durations, but it still relies on a larger ship such as the Leviathan or whatever, or the battleship class when we get around to it for its for most purposes. Fortunately, because of the way I'm designing it, I can get away with a relatively small power plant, as you can see here. And then down below, these are going to be access hatches to the below deck area, which is basically just going to be where I can run plumbing and things like that. The reason for this is because my gravity generator is actually in there. The idea is so I could keep it accessible to go forward, but I realized that that's probably not going to work. Just looking at the layout now. Anyway, that's kind of the first look at it. Obviously, it needs a lot more work. I have a little bit more planning to do. It needs some more weapons. It needs actual interior. Needs to be it needs to be pressurized and airtight. I just had an idea. I'll see if I can play around with it to try to with these hangers to try to make them a little less exposed, or not hangers, airlocks. But anyway, so that's the way she is now. And hopefully I'll have a video up in the next week or so showing some progress on this ship. Talk to you later. Bye.